everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 27th. My name is Jackson. I am your host. This is the StellaLuna podcast, episode 23, which is very exciting. I am also the dyer behind Stella Luna Fiber Co. I'll have everything linked down below with where you can find my Instagram, my TikTok, my Etsy shop, all of that good stuff, as well as my Ravelry and all of the projects that I talk about today. I'm going to try and keep this relatively short. I do have a lot to talk about, and at the end of this video there will be some shop news as well as what I have kind of vlog wise from Rhinebeck. I was looking at the footage and it's like 3 minutes long, so I figured I'd just tack it on the end of my podcast for anyone who wants to watch. I'm not comfortable like filming in front of a bunch of people and stuff like that, or talking to a camera while out in public. So I'll probably do a voiceover to this. We'll see. It might just be. As you can tell, the puppies are here. Luna Buna, you can't even see anything. Come here, bug. You want to come say hi to the people? Up. Good girl. We got Luna here is up here with me, and then Stella is downstairs doing Lordy knows what. She's probably barking out the front window. Oh, look who it is! We got the Stelly Belly too! Okay, hush guys, I'm filming. Yes, I'm filming. Anyways, so I will be tacking those two things down at the end of this video. I will leave timestamps in the description to kind of say where those are if you are looking to watch those kind of in a different order than how I have put them in this video, or because I do have some new colorways to show y'all if you want to reference that kind of deal. But yeah, so let's dive right in and get this party started. I only have one finished object this week. No judgment. I finished this on the plane back from Rhinebeck. Well, I should say from Virginia. So how Rhinebeck worked out, I flew to Virginia to road trip with my sister from her house up to New York. And it was a lot of fun. It was really beautiful, and we had a really good time. We listened to Harry Potter like pretty much the whole way and chatted and all that good stuff. But my primary knitting that I was trying to get done while we were at Rhinebeck were these beautiful socks. This is the second sock. It's done and everything, and my ends are all woven in. The only thing I haven't done is block them. So I blocked the first sock back when I finished it forever ago. And this one's just, you can see it's not as tidy looking, and the garter rib's a little scrunched up on itself. I will be washing the second sock probably once I finish this podcast. I was just kind of holding off washing it because I didn't want to have a wet sock to show y'all because it's chilly and I didn't want to hold anything damp. But I finished this on the plane flying back. There are no direct flights from Chattanooga, so I went Dulles to Atlanta, Atlanta to Chattanooga, and I finished this on the flight to Atlanta from Dulles. And it's covered in dog hair. I was wearing these around the house yesterday, so they have been worn already. They're very much loved, and they're very, very nice. But these are the Kindling socks. I've talked about these a ton. I've had these on needles for forever, and this pattern is by Lindsey Fowler, and it's knit out of my yarn. This is a slightly off skein of Autumn Bonfire. I think this was my first dye edition kind of deal, and it was still really beautiful, so I pulled it aside and kind of kept it for myself. And it's just lovely, super orange and autumnal. Just dropped a sock. And I'm happy to have these done because they're very, very cozy. And I sleep in socks. I wear socks around my house. I wear socks in my Birkenstocks. I was wearing these at knit group yesterday. I have a knit group that I go to on Wednesday mornings here. And just really, really like these. I'm really happy to have them done. But yeah, so that's my first finished object. And now on to my plethora of whips, because I am just a whip magnet in a sense. I like casting on with abandon, and then it takes me forever to finish things. But I figured we'll start with socks since they're small, and then we'll move on to my bigger projects. First up, just because these have been on the needles the longest out of these two, these are my 2022 birthday cast-on socks. It's in a Magner bag. They're a bag maker. They have an Etsy shop, and they're based out of Athens, Georgia, so not too far from where I am. But these are my birthday cast-on socks from this year. I'm just doing regular old vanilla socks, because that is honestly all I'm in the mood for sock-wise. I love the look of really decorative, like cabled socks and lace socks and all that stuff, but I don't have the brain space for anything but really vanilla socks right now. I want something that I can easily pick up, do a couple rows, put it down, and not have to wonder where I'm at. Oh, hi, Stella. Oh, you're sitting right at my feet. You are so cute. But this is being knit out of Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co. She is an Irish dyer, and this is her natural sock base from her Halloween colorways a few years ago. We have Spiced Pumpkin, and then Harvest Hues is the main color. And I'll be using Spiced Pumpkin as a contrast for I have a little bit of a cuff in this as a contrast, and then I'll do contrasting heels and toes as well. But that is whip number 1. Whip number 2 you have not seen yet, because I just cast it on Saturday. A little backstory to me casting these on. I decided to go through my Ravelry, and I am very much a seasonal knitter, so when I'm in the mood for autumn knitting, that's like all I'm going to work on. When I'm in the mood for Christmas and winter knitting, that's all I'm going to work on. I'm not going to work on stuff that I feel is spring or summer in seasonal thematic, kind of deal. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm like a seasonal knitter. I'm a thematic knitter. Like I like to do Halloween socks around Halloween. I like to do, beachy, summery looking shorty socks in the summer, like that kind of deal. And so I made the decision to go through my Ravelry projects and hibernate my spring summer socks. And so that's 4 pairs of socks that have now been placed on hibernation. And I then felt I could justify casting on more socks. Is this going to backfire on me? I don't know yet. We will see. But if I can get stuff done, then it's not a backfired plan. But I don't feel as overwhelmed by my whips in a sense, even though I have casted on something new. But these are, let's see, oh, there we go. So these are going to be little shorty vanilla socks. I am knitting this out of my apple picking colorway on BFL Sock. I really love this color, and it's kind of exciting how like saturated it is, because it doesn't look, hold on, I've got a skein of it around here somewhere. There we go. Like, this is what it looks like skeined up. I dyed these 2 skeins at the same time, and it's just so beautiful. And it, not that it looks different in the skein, but it has a different vibe in the skein than it does caked up and knit up and stuff. So I'm really happy with these. These are just going to be little shorty vanilla socks. There is no contrast that I'm going to be doing, so it'll all be this beautiful color. And I am past where I'm going to put my cut-in afterthought heel. That is my preferred heel method. If you're new here, I do not like doing any other heel. Apparently, I am a cut-in afterthought girly. And then I can just knit a big old tube and then do a toe again for a heel, basically. And I love that. It's easy. I don't have to remember any specific directions. It fits me really well. But I'm loving these. These are kind of my in the dye studio socks. I'll be out dyeing later today, and these will be coming with me, just because there's not exactly like downtime, but the way that my dye cave, dungeon, whatever you want to call it, is set up is I usually have about 1 pan going at a time. It's a very small kind of set up just because I'm not making the kind of shmoney to have like a big steamer cabinet or I don't have the space for a ton of hot plates kind of going at the same time. Love to get there, but we are not there just yet. Hey, Zoe. Sorry, my nose is itchy. It's that time of year for me, and there's dog hair everywhere. Anyways, so that is like kind of my designated dyeing sock right now, and I've got a big wholesale order to do for the Chattanooga Yarn Company. That will be very exciting. I am doing exclusive colorways for them, and you'll have to keep your eyes peeled over on social media. But next is not a sock, which is very exciting, and also a very new cast on. I casted this on Monday after getting back from Rhinebeck, or Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, I don't remember. But I have been eyeballing these colors. These are my own colors. This is from my Woolen Witch little mini collection that is currently in the shop for a little bit longer. But I really like these colors. I like how they play together. And we have Divination, which is this first color. And then this little strip of purple that you see between Divination and the next color is Familiar. And then the third color is Grimoire, which is like a beautiful, like kind of denim-y dark blue. Or not dark blue, but kind of moody blue. Honestly, it's like the same color as my eyes in a sense. But I've been wanting to do another shawl. I really like my A Girl's Best Friend shawl that I knit a few years ago. Let me grab it. I have it in a little basket over there. So like this is what it's gonna look like when it's done, for the most part. I did not know about a stretchy bind off, so I did a regular old run-of-the-mill bind off, and it is not very forgiving. Learned my lesson. I will not do that again for this one. But I really love how this one is. This is out of 6 and 7 fiber. So I wanted to do one out of my own yarn, and my BFL sock is probably my favorite sock base or yarn base in general that I carry in the shop. It's lovely and soft and kind of toothy feeling in a sense. Like it feels different than merino, but like not in a bad way. And when you wash it, it gets super soft. But I like how it kind of holds color. It mutes things out like a tiny bit and stuff, and just it's lovely. But I just finished my first teardrop repeat here, which is like kind of a lace little teardrop pattern. I don't know how else to really describe it. It is very slow going on this section, so my goal for this week, it is Thursday now, so I have until Sunday, which I think is doable because I think it's just 3 teardrop repeats for this particular section, is to finish this section this week, which feels doable. I have started the second teardrop motif, so I think I could do that. But I am going to Fibre in the Borough with a few of the ladies from Knit Group on Saturday, so I don't really have Saturday to work on this. So I will be working on this evening for sure. I'm going to see if I can do at least majority of a pattern repeat today and tomorrow, and you know, kind of see if I can finish this bad boy up. In terms of the repeat, I still have like a whole larger teardrop section to go with ribbing, and I'm slowly increasing as I go in typical triangle shawl fashion. But I just really love how these colors look, and it's gonna be like my little spooky shawl, my little witchy shawl, and I feel like it's appropriate. I did bungle the pattern a little bit, so I don't know how visible this is going to be because this is very light. But you can see here there's a purl ridge. I forgot to do that for the first 4 repeats at the beginning of the pattern, so I had to kind of fudge a last section here. Thankfully I noticed it where it's actually pretty even, so I basically just had to do half of this here repeat, because you do like, I think it's 6 rows. Oh, I'm holding this backwards. Am I holding this backwards? No, I'm not holding this backwards. You do like 6 rows of stockinette, and then you have like kind of this moss stitch section, and then you have a purl ridge. So I was able to do another 6 rows of stockinette and then do another purl ridge. So it worked out. Obviously not ideal, but I am definitely a person who, mistakes happen, you know, and I tend to just kind of, I guess, fudge it, you know, when those kinds of mistakes happen, or I just continue. If I was earlier in the pattern when I noticed and I hadn't done like a good majority of the beginning of the shawl, I probably would have ripped it out. Like if I was like 2 repeats in, I probably would have just gone ahead and ripped it out and started over. But seeing as I was 4 repeats in and I only had 3 repeats left, I was kind of like, ugh, we're not pulling that out. We'll just steal. And that just makes the shawl even more my own. So I'm not terribly upset about it. It still looks good. It still looks somewhat intentional, I think. Plus that little bit is what's going to be like right up on my neck. So I don't even think you'd really notice the little purl ridge to begin with in those sections. You might see it later as you like move down, like in those last 3 sections you'll probably see those, but the way I wear shawls is like I either have them wrapped up around my neck and kind of like tied together, where I wear it over my shoulders, in which case my hair is going to cover a good section of that. So there's that. And that's a new cast on, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I made a lot of progress on that in the past week. And I think if I handle it in little chunks, we'll get this done pretty quick, which will be really nice. And I wanted to knit it up because everyone's been ordering by the pricking of my thumbs and witch's wood, and no one's bought any of those 3 colors. I was like, I love these colors so much. They're so cute. And so I wanted to have them kind of knit up to show people, because I probably will bring those colors back next year and maybe expand the Woolen Witch collection, like maybe do a Woolen Witch 2.0 or something like that. I will say my next project is getting a little neglected, even though I am so close to being done with a section. It is my Lodge sweater by Ozetta. I would like to get this done by the end of the year. I think that's very doable. This is done on BFL Aran, so it does move pretty quickly. I'm just on a flat section, and not my favorite part. I don't like knitting flat very much. I don't like purling a ton. The shawl is making it a little bit better because it moves a little bit faster, you know. But I am kind of in the same place I think I was last time. I maybe added like 1 or 2 rows. I do need to measure and see where I'm at and determine how much more I need to do before I start doing the next part of directions, because right now I'm just knitting and purling and stuff, so I have a stockinette panel for the back. But then I think I have to do some shoulder and neck shaping on the back, but I have to double check the pattern directions and how much I need to knit. I have a stitch marker here that is indicating where I'm measuring from. This is the row that I did my last round in this, you know, knitting in the round section before I split to do working flat. So I'm measuring from there. And so we've made a lot of progress. It's just like kind of not been, when it was smaller, it was a little bit easier to tote around and knit on, as sweaters typically are when they're smaller. So we're just at a point with this sweater where it's just big and very squishy, and yeah, it's just a little bit more to manage. But I am knitting, I don't remember if I said this, it's the Lodge sweater by Ozetta. I am knitting this out of my own yarn as well. This is the Silver Fox colorway on BFL Aran. I really love this color. It's a really great neutral gray and very soft and lovely. But that is primarily what I'm knitting on. I do have other projects that aren't considered hibernated right now, but I just haven't picked them up. so I'm not going to bother showing y'all that. But that concludes the knitting portion of things. We're going to now shift gears and move into shop update news. So first and foremost, November 1st, we will be doing I say we, it's literally just me. November 1st, I will be updating the shop, taking down fall colorways, so Cozy Mysteries collection and Woolen Witch will be coming down, as well as collegiate sock sets, etc., which have been relisted in the shop as of today. My wholesale supplier is now fully stocked with mini skeins again, and that is why I took them down in the shop, because like I couldn't get my hands on 20-gram mini skein packs. So those are back up in the shop. So if you wanted one of those collegiate sock sets, or you wanted a sock set from the Cozy Mysteries collection, now is your time to order. They're in the shop right now, so go get them because they will be coming down on November 1st. What will be going in the shop on November 1st will be the December Stella Luna Library Yarn Club. December's colorway is inspired by a Russian YA folktale kind of retelling. It's a really good book. I'm currently re-listening to it, and I'm just reminded how much I really like it. It gives you all the winter cozy vibes that you want, and it's just really good, and it's like beautifully written. So 10 out of 10 recommend. It will be a very colorful skein and stuff, and it's not Christmassy at all, so if you're worried about that, don't be. It does not read as Christmassy or holiday to begin with, so if you aren't interested in that kind of vibe, you're in the go for this particular colorway. And it will be on Sparkle Yarn, which is very exciting. Next up, what's coming into the shop on November 1st will be our new collection, my new collection. I keep using the royal we. This is the Goddess of the Hunt collection. It is kind of inspired by like old English hunting paintings, you know, like kind of vintage. They look like they go in someone's man cave. So it's partially inspired by those. I used to ride horses when I was little, so I like kind of those old English like horse fox hunt type paintings, but like apply that to like other animals, I guess. And my father-in-law does go hunting. He is a deer hunter, and so that was like another thing that was kind of inspiring this collection, but by no means is it gory or grody or anything like that, so don't worry about that. But to start off, this collection is called the Goddess of the Hunt collection, and this is our primary gal. This is Goddess of the Hunt. I'm going to turn the lighting down a little bit. Oop. So hopefully this will be a little bit less washed out. So this is Goddess of the Hunt. It's a really beautiful green. Oh my gosh, this thing is so annoying. That looks a little bit better. Really gorgeous green. Really, really nice. I love this color. So kind of mossy, kind of foresty. Not exactly camo or anything like that, but just really lovely. This will be a sock set. I'll insert the sock set pictures now. For this, it will be available on all bases that I carry. The sock set has a kind of auburn burnished orange color and then kind of like a golden yellow mini. It is a Luna sock set, and the Luna sock sets will be available on merino sock and tweed sock. The picture is in tweed, and if you're local to the Chattanooga area, the Goddess of the Hunt sock sets are currently at the Chattanooga Yarn Company. So very exciting. You can go and snag one before these are even technically in the shop, because I think they did inventory yesterday. I dropped them off yesterday. So next up we have, that's got my hair on it. Problems with being a sheddy person. We have Wood Duck, which I'm going to kind of pop that up a little bit so you can see a little bit more. This is like a really speckly gorgeous color. I really like wood ducks. I took a zoo archaeology class, and this is going to be really morbid. So I took a 300 level zoo archaeology class in college. And me and my college roommate took that class together when we were freshmen. Might have been a little bit out of our depths, but we had a ton of fun. And basically that whole class was like spent in an archaeology lab looking at animal bones. So sorry if that makes you uncomfortable, but that's what I was doing. And one of the things that we had in the collection was this little tiny box with a little tiny female wood duck skull in it. And it was the cutest thing, which again sounds really morbid, but I thought it was really cute and I really liked it. And so like wood ducks have been my favorite duck ever since then. But that is inspired by a male wood duck, because they're the ones with all the pretty colorful plumage and everything. So really excited for those. I think those will knit up beautifully. I'm gonna swatch after this podcast too. I have to dye and I'm going to be swatching, and there's just so much to do. Next up we have ringneck pheasant, which is gorgeous. This is also in a sock set with kind of a really beautiful teal color. I'll pop a picture here. We have hunting companion. This is inspired by the puppies and various other hunting dogs that tend to kind of be of a golden and orangish, reddish, auburn color. Really love this color. It is speckled and stuff, so I really like that one. I like all of these. This is like probably a collection that I'm most excited about. Next up we have largemouth bass. So if anyone's into fishing, here you go. We have largemouth bass, which is lovely mossy and green with like kind of a mauvey pink little accent color. And we have, again, another fishing related one. We have rainbow trout. Look, that's blowing out. Rainbow trout, which is probably a personal favorite and the one I've heard the most about from people really liking. This is also in a sock set. It will have, it's like kind of a like persimmon orange color, kind of like that color right there. And again, picture here. Same thing with wood duck. I forget if I said that. Wood duck also is a sock set. We have whitetail, which is just a soft fawn kind of nubuck color. It is tonal for the most part. This is one of the tonal colorways, or the only really tonal colorway that I have for this particular collection. But it is wonderful, warm and cozy, would make for great socks, would make for a great contrast in any kind of color work or a main color for color work. And then we have quail, which is gorgeous, kind of grayish, cool tone blue with some sapphire bits. This is a variegated skein. I really like this. This is a gorgeous blue. And that is what will be in the shop for the Goddess of the Hunt collection. If you want to go look at pictures and stuff like that, go check out my Instagram or go check out Facebook. I have uploaded the pictures there. And then kind of to backtrack real quick, the Stella Luna Library Yarn Club will only be up for a week, so it'll come down on the 8th of November. And on the 8th of November, I will be uploading Christmas colorways. So these are going to be some Christmas colors from last year. We will have some wonderful kind of like tonal and variegated speckled stuff coming into the shop with the Christmas stuff. I will have some kind of classically Christmas things that will be available from last year. So I do not have a skein of this because I knit with it. So I'm just going to show my example here. But these are some vanilla DK weight socks that I did with my BFL sock and held double with my Surrey Cloud lace base. This colorway is Holly Berries. It's a really beautiful red. It's toned down a little bit by the Surrey because it just takes dye a little bit differently, but this is what it looks like caked up. So it's a little bit more saturated in the cake than it necessarily looks knit up due to the Surrey. But so that is Holly Berries. This will be in the shop on November 8th. Green Night will be coming back into the shop. Really great, bright, happy green, inspired by Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. It is a medieval Arthurian story with a Christmas beheading game. Very interesting Christmas activities they were having in the court of King Arthur. Next up we have Plum Pudding, which is a really beautiful purple. I have some DK weight set aside, dyed up in this to make socks out of. I'm excited. So we will also have Peppermint Hot Chocolate coming back, as well as the Peppermint Paws sock set version of this. And again, if you're local, you can get this on Tweed at the Chattanooga Yarn Company right now. Very exciting. And this is on BFL Sock, so it's not as saturated as it typically looks in the skein. This is fairly muted. The red comes through a lot more on like merino and on tweed, so just heads up there. Long Winter's Night will be coming back in the shop, which is a lovely variegated purple. Cranberry Sauce will be coming back in the shop. I love this color. Very like pinky, reddish, magenta-y color. Really like that one. Snowden will also be coming back to the shop. This is a speckled cream base yarn with lots of greens and brown speckled in. And then last but not least, I am going to insert a picture here. The Waltz of the Snowflakes colorway and the Sugar Plum colorway will be coming back into the shop as well with those Christmas colors. I just don't have it skeined up. I have it currently in a project right now. So, but those are the Christmas colors that will be coming back into the shop. I'm sure I will be dyeing up some other ones, but these are just kind of that first rollout of Christmassy holiday kind of festive colors. I do want to come out with some like Hanukkah themed colorways as well, like a Hanukkah themed sock set potentially. So let me know if anyone's interested in that and stuff, because you know, holidays are for everybody and I don't want anyone to feel excluded. But and I'm hoping that for the most part not all of these read as like in your face Christmas. So if you do not celebrate Christmas, or you are just not religious in that sense or anything like that, or really into that holiday in particular, you can still find some great colors that would just be beautiful kind of no matter what and feel kind of wintry, even though they have a Christmassy holiday theme to them. But that is it for shop news. And I figured I'd do a quick little bit of acquisitions that kind of tie into the Rhinebeck stuff. I don't think I have a lot of film footage of like anything that I bought other than like kind of the full collection of what me and my sister got together as like kind of our collective haul. So like the pictures that I have on Instagram, and then some of the footage clips that I have for my like pseudo Rhinebeck vlog show a lot more stuff than what I actually have, because it is both my sister's purchases and my own. So I figured I'd go through and just kind of show what my own purchases were real quick, and then we'll roll into Rhinebeck vlog territory. So I figured I'd first start off with the yarn that I bought. I'm very proud of myself. I didn't go as wild as I thought I might have. I did buy my yarn primarily at Indie Untangled, so that was the day before Rhinebeck. My sister and I bought tickets for that, and we had a lot of fun there, and it was much easier to shop vendor booths, even though it was still fairly busy. but it just wasn't as overwhelming as Rhinebeck at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival actually was. There was so many people, and it was so hard to get into viewing booths and things like that because just the sheer amount of people. I knew Rhinebeck was big, but I didn't actually know how big Rhinebeck was going to be. But this is probably the first purchase me and my sister made. So my sister bought some yarn from Lambstring Yarns. Hers are beautiful green, but this is mine. This is the StellaLuna sock in the color Rooibos. And this is a 75% merino, 25% nylon 4-ply fingering. It's gorgeous. These will make for some really gorgeous socks. I bought all of my yarn with the intention of them being socks because I love me some socks. Next up we have Verse Yarns. I believe they're Maryland based because my sister was talking to the ladies who were running the checkout, and my sister's from Virginia, so she was like, oh my gosh, y'all are from kind of the same area. And I think they said that they're at a yarn store in Alexandria. I don't remember. But either way, beautiful, beautiful yarn. This is I think it's the Stairways to the Stars base colorway autograph. I'm not sure, but this is a 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% gold stellina base. And again, fingering weight sock yarn. And it's gorgeous. So it does sparkle. I'm not sure if it's going to be anything that really shows up on camera. Oh, you can see a little bit. My sister and I both got the same color. We are going to do matching sister socks. We just have not decided on a pattern yet. And both of us are kind of at a place where we need to probably finish a couple of projects before we cast on sister socks. But because we both have a number of socks on the needles, and my sister has not finished either of the 2 socks that she has casted on. She'll have a completed pair of socks, but they will not match here really soon. But that is in our near future, I think, because it's just really beautiful. And it's got such subtle colors and subtle speckles, and it's just a really lovely, happy yellow. So I'm excited about that. And then this is something that I got for myself as well, but my sister didn't get yarn from this vendor, but it's Plies and Hellhounds yarn on the Mary Cutie base. So it's 75% superwash Corriedale and 25% nylon fingering weight in the colorway Ravishing, which just felt really appropriate. I love me a good romance novel, and it seemed like they had a couple of like romance novel themed kind of colorways, at least to me, like based off of the colorway names. Like I think there was one where it was like "and he purred" or something like that, and it sounded very much like a paranormal romance to me. If anyone knows, like, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just like what it felt like. And I am, if not anything but a person who loves a good themed sock, and so I'll probably do something cute and lacy or something out of this. I don't know, but it's Stewie, quit barking, you silly girl. It's real squishy. Like, this is lofty yarn. Like, it looks like, if you look at it, it looks like DK weight, but it's fingering. So I'm very excited for this, and I want to cast socks on for it, but I just haven't decided on what kind of beautiful pattern these will be made out of. And yeah, and I'm very excited because I don't carry a Corriedale base in my shop, so it'll be nice to have something knit up out of this. And then of course all of this right now is in my India Untangled tote bag, which I love. It's a great size. And so now we're kind of moving into, well, no, not yet. I spoke too soon. So the other vendor that I bought from at Rhinebeck was Katrinkles. I follow Katrinkles on Instagram, and I love the work that they do. And so they do laser cut like notions and things like that. And so I got 3 different things, but it equates to about 5 because one of them was like a little mini pack. But I got a little like gauge type of ruler that I can attach to a project bag, which I'm very excited to have. I feel like this will be really helpful. I think it was called like a cuff ruler because it's just 2 inches. So really like that. But I think I can get a lot more use out of it than just for measuring cuffs, especially since I kind of know what I do for cuffs and I don't really listen to the directions unless the cuff has like a specific pattern to it that I want to do. Next up, I misread, or I wasn't really paying attention, so I was overwhelmed everywhere we went. But I got these little removable washable tags, and I thought that they were for putting on like your finished objects, but you could take them off in order to wash your projects. But I stupidly didn't read what they said because it just said washable tags. But these are actually scissor tags. So one says for thread only, for paper only, and for fabric only. So you can attach these to specific scissors, and then no one will mistakenly, or hopefully not mistakenly, use your fancy, like I have Ginger scissors or Ginger shears for fabric cutting. I can attach the for fabric only little fob onto those scissors, and hopefully no one will accidentally use them for something else. I know my husband has, when we were, I think, just engaged and we were living in the apartment, he did use my Ginger scissors on opening a box. I was not very happy with him when that happened, but he just didn't know. He just thought they were regular scissors and stuff. And you wouldn't know unless you have someone in your life who sews or has like scissors for specific things. And he just hadn't dated or lived with someone who was a crafty biatch like I am, who has too many crafts to keep track of. Another thing I got was a German short row little tag to attach to project bags for when I'm doing German short rows. This is not my preferred way of doing a heel, but I do have a couple of projects that do have German short rows, and I figured this would be really helpful. So it's like a little cheat sheet for when I get to those particular projects, and I can remind myself. And then maybe since I will have that, maybe I will enjoy German short rows more because I won't have to go and pull up my phone or go to my computer and reference someone's directions or tutorial online. I will already kind of have those ready to go. Next up are the Rhinebeck things that I have gotten. I went to, I don't remember the name of the vendor, but she had a bunch of vintage buttons and just buttons galore, like insane button lady. And I got 3 pairs of buttons. So I got these beautiful wooden buttons, and then also these other beautiful wooden buttons. These are for my Felix cardigan whenever I get to knitting that, so I want to have buttons kind of ready to go. I think that these will be a good size for that project, and there are 7 buttons, and I think that that'll be enough for that project. I haven't double checked to see how many buttons I will need, but I want to knit more cardigans. And so I also got this one, which is only 5, but just lovely natural wood colored buttons, and figured those would be good to have on hand anyways. It was hard to peruse all of her vintage buttons because there were just so many people, but I just so happened to see these on the little corner that I was on and was immediately drawn to them. I do have some Irish heritage. I'm not like full-blown Irish. I'm very much like Irish, Scottish, English, and I think Swedish is the other one and stuff. So like very white, very boring genealogy over here. But they were just really cute, and they're just little painted shamrocks on, I think they're just little plastic buttons, but they're just really cute. And I was thinking these would look really great on a natural colored cardigan, potentially DK or fingering weight, so nothing like crazy heavy, but they would just look really good and be like a cute little pop of color. Everyone was asking me when I showed them the buttons I got, like, what, like, are you Irish? And I was like, only a little bit. I hope you're Irish. And I'm like, I'm only a tiny bit, but that's okay. I was just drawn to them, and I think they're really beautiful. Next up, I'm kind of going in order of like what I purchased. I got in the big long line for the, I forget who the publisher it was. It was Luna Magazine is the one who published this book, but it's, I think, it doesn't say, but they had this big publisher or print house that had a bunch of books, and so I did get in the big line to go and see if I could get my hands on Salt and Timber. The only thing that sucks is Lindsey Fowler was there, and she was doing signings for books, so I probably ended up paying book signing price for something that I didn't actually get signed. She was supposed to be back at 1, and that's when we were in line, and it just didn't look like she was going to be back in time. I couldn't tell if she was speaking at the time or what, or if it was just there were so many people that she couldn't get back to her spot very quickly, but we were in line for a good long while, and probably a total of 20 minutes after I grabbed this book, and just never saw her get back to her spot. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but also crazy amount of people, and there was someone speaking, and I'm guessing it was her because no one else was not technically there, and the speaker was definitely still like speaking and or answering questions for people, etc. And then the last thing I got were some really beautiful wooden little shawl pins. So I have a couple of shawls, and I thought that these would be really helpful for wearing them and having them be wearable in different ways than how I typically wear shawls. So I got these, and I really like them, and I think they're all hand turned and everything, and they're just really lovely. They're really cute. This one has a nice little like ridge detail that I don't know if that's reading very well in the camera. Boogie, what are you doing? You're being mischievous. And I got a hair stick as well. And that's kind of, I don't have it with me right now. It is downstairs in one of my handbags. But it's just, looks like this, but bigger. And for your hair. So, but that's like what I got. I'm pretty proud of myself for not going hog wild for everything. But those are my acquisitions from Rhinebeck. And thank y'all for watching. We're now going to shift into the Rhinebeck stuff, but I just wanted to say thank you. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope y'all enjoyed the little vloggy section and stuff if you care to even watch that. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye! Good morning, everybody. Today's the day. I am flying to Virginia later on this morning. I am getting ready to go. I have to go make a few last minute errands, go put gas in the car, that kind of stuff before I head to the airport. But we're about ready to go. Why do they gotta look so cute when I gotta leave? Look at these sweet girls. Be good babies, okay? Give your dad lots of love while I'm gone. So, in case you're wondering, I do not know how to pack light. We got one giant suitcase and a giant tote bag. It's the day! Our beautiful driver. Yeah.